You want that story?
Yeah, this is tape 2, May 31st. Almost June 1st. We'll give it back to this side, I suppose. Yeah, I just wanted that. We were just before World War One, or before the end of World War One, before the slump, there was more competition for birds. We were just talking about.
Yeah, there were really competition for birds then, because this particular time, my father had his trap ready to go out here to the build up to the bigger point where you always said.
What was it called?
Well, the point. We've got the B, you know, the point that were projected out to the point.
Just the point. Yeah.
Just the point, yeah. And it always went in the name of, after that, it always went in the name of Leader Point.
Leader Point?
Leader Point, that's what. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was setting his trap out there.
Right on.
Year after year. So this guy from Brownsdale came down with his moorings. And unexpectedly, my father didn't know, he came down and put out his moorings. So as soon as he was gone, my father took his mooring, went out and moved all his and put his there.
Ooh.
He put them all out.
All over the
out of the way, took them all out of the way.
Wow.
Put his there.
And that was that?
That was that, yeah, that was that.
But he didn't come back?
No.
Gave up?
Yeah, they one crew went to court, you know, and the guy told the judge that he had his trap set in good shape. And when he won the case, and when it come down to the point, he had a rat trap set on the barrel head. He had a rat trap set. And he swore he had his trap set in good shape in the bird. You know? And he had a rat trap set.
No, what does that mean?
He had a rat trap. Yeah, he had set on the barrel head. He had a trap set.
So if someone came near it, they'd get caught, you mean, or?
No,
I see. He used the rat trap as the trap.
He used a rat trap for... Yeah.
So it was a joke.
Some people have what you call mock traps, just something no good, you know, a twine, a rope that just to put out to hold the bird.
Right.
See? And this fella was taken to court, and he said he had a trap set in the Heart Cove in good shape, and this was a rat trap he had on a barrel head.
It was set in good shape on the barrel.
On the barrel head.
And it was a rat trap to catch rats.
And a rat trap to catch rats.
Now,
a technicality.
Yes, exactly. He wasn't lying.
No, he wasn't lying, no.
Did he win?
Oh yes, he won. He won the case.
When was that? How long ago was that?
Oh, that was during the same era. I would say it was somewheres before the end of World War One, because in 1918, that was the end of the 1919. That's when an awful lot of people,
gave it up.
They were
forced out.
Yeah.
So, but why would at that point, were there spots that were supposedly people's or something that they would claim?
No, they would just somebody would go out and sound the water, depth, with a sounding lead, sound the water, and find the right depth of water, and they set the trap there, and it proved a success. They wouldn't fish there; they get fish there, and the next year somebody would go take it before, you wouldn't get the chance.
And so then you would complain.
That's why all the birds were made. I mean, say trap bird. Who put out the first trap? Where did they put it? Somebody had to go out and find a place to put it. And as the traps grew in numbers, one would take the other. There was competition. One would take the bird and the other. And usually, when the fellow would go up and take a bird from somebody else, he'd get no fish there. And the fellow that made the bird, not a bird, he got all the fish he wanted. That happened time and time.
Because they were really doing the job.
But half the people didn't know it. Didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue about catching fish. No, didn't have a clue about catching fish. like I said, they weren't on the bottom and they weren't set properly and they were slack and everything
they needed to be.
Everything, yeah. It's a business. It's a business. Fishing, we used to even the depth. Put the jigger down by the side of the trap to see if the depth of water on one side like the other, you know. And try to we'd be always improving on the outfit, you know.
Right.
To try to keep the trap in good fishing condition all the time. People throw a trap up in the water, they wouldn't look at it until there'd probably been a ball out there, and wouldn't look at it half the time.
Yeah.
So that's
the way it goes.
That's the way it goes, boy. That's the way it goes.
Did you how many marks did you need to set a trap? To find it?
Well, you usually
once you had a certain berth, you knew.
Yeah, once you knew the trap along shore here. Probably go from if you get a good shoal to set your trap to, you probably 6 fathoms of water. Well, you put your grapple down there. Say you had a rock or a point or something, 6 fathoms of water. And you would run down, you got 60 fathoms of later, you'd run down your 60 fathoms of rope and you put your trap. And you'd probably end up with 12 or 14 fathoms of water for your trap. But that's a good place. That's a perfect spot.
The depth is the important thing.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot. Level bottom, you know, you can find that any place.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like hand lining where you have to know where to sit.
No.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just as long as you get out a certain distance and a certain depth.
And usually a trap along shore, you appoint, because fish, when they comes after the cable, where it's wet, fish will go. Okay? And if you can bury that fish, you know.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They got to swim right back again.
Yeah.
So usually, you know, that's you get a shoal to set your, unless you're way back out, you know, on a piece of level bottom, and that's not much of a trap bird. You usually got to get a shoal to put your trap to.
So no more than 14 fathoms, 12, 14 fathoms.
Well, you very seldom go in deeper water than that, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of these though? I've heard of the people setting in deep water, like 20 fathoms, at certain times of year, sort of thing. Someone was telling me that there was a thing up at the Beta Verde Perdican, there was a kind of a deep trap. It was like 20 fathoms of water, and I couldn't understand it because I didn't even know how they got the trap in. But someone was telling, maybe it was Ben Marsh, was saying that they would sink them way down.
Oh, you can put a 10 fathom trap down in 20 fathoms of water.
And just haul it up really slowly to the surface.
But see, like I told you, you set you at long in the mornings, and you set your cage back 10 fathoms on the rope.
Right.
And you could heave it over in a ball. You could heave it all over in a ball. And as that goes down,
falls out.
Everything falls in place. Oh, you can fish it. You can fish it 10. But after he goes double his depth, he turns it out. It's not good. You know. 10 fathom trap in 20 fathom water. A 14 one is fine for that.
Okay.
Fine for that,
But doubling is...
Let it down 6 fathoms.
Yeah. To hold that, how would you hold that kind of a trap? Did you ever have that kind of trap? Did you ever do that?
No, we never fished. I never fished in trap. We did 1 year, put one out in 18, fish didn't come in 18 fathoms of water, but there's torture getting it up, you know, the whole trap.
Moving it around.
Yeah, torture, hauling it up by. We had no facilities, no girdies then to get it up with. But some people that had big traps had winches in their skiff like that one up there. Big old winches to crank it up with.
Right. So
because the floats, the cork, after a few days, they get as heavy as rocks.
Waterlogged.
And the old rope, manila, and bass rope, and once the water get into that, it was almost as heavy as cable. You know, not like everything changed with the polyester rope and plastic floats and everything.
Yes.
Different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
Ball game
The
altogether.
lightness and everything else.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. There was more work involved in the old days too. Obviously, the
yes.
weight was much
Yes, weight. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The weight was
tremendous.
tremendous. Yeah.
Did you know why they would fish in that depth of water, or when they would fish? Or?
Well, because the fish, there was years, fish didn't come in, whatever was the trouble. I still think it's the temperature of the water. There were years, there were no fish along shore, but you go out in 20 pounds of water, and there was all kinds of fish. In 1950, my father died in 49, and I went away to the States. And Charles put his trap there, one of the traps there to the point, and there wasn't a fish coming there for the summer. Not one, and that's very unusual. And he took the other trap and carried it out in 20 fathoms of water, way out in 20 fathoms of water. And he set it out, and he got his first fish the 6th day of August. He got the first fish, and he trapped 200 counts of fish. Besides, he landed 200. Besides all he'd give away, another crew used to go and help him haul it up. I was away that year. And the next year, we went to work and we said, this is it. We put the trap out there, and we put one inside. We went out in the evening and hauled the one outside, and we had a boatload of fish. The next morning, we didn't go to the inside one. We went out to get the big lot of fish. It boiled past the traps. We never had the fish out there, and it came in, and we trapped our voyage into 12 fathoms of water, and the big trap out there never got another fish for the summer. That's as far as it come that year.
Yeah,
it's
for whatever reason.
It stayed in that depth of water, and that happened several years along the line.
Yeah.
But there was never a year. This is what they say. Some years there were no fish years ago. But the year there was no fish there, if they'd have gone there,
they would have got them.
They would have got them.
Yeah. Did you ever? Someone mentioned to me the idea that those deep traps. It's the same concept, really, because for 2 weeks before the fish struck right in close, that trap would be good, and for 2 weeks after the fish were in close, would be good in that depth sort of thing. So you get coming and going, you know.
Coming and going. Yeah. Well, see, when I was fishing, see the trawl. We get back to the trawlers again. They go up and they set their trawls on the ground, and they probably start in 16 fathoms of water, and they go down what they call down below 30 or 40 fathoms of water, and they go out with the first capelin, and bait the trawl, and go up the next morning, and they'd have all kinds of fish for so many days, and finally the fish would move. Where would the fish be?
In closer?
Into the rocks.
Right on.
And they'd be so long then, and the fish was gone. Now we found out where the fish, because a guy here promened to the shore up there behind. He promened a camp and a half up right down the traps up around the point. And now then, they'd wait and by and by, the fish is back again. So the fish is coming back now, going down in the deep again, coming out of the, because the bait had come in and go in on the beaches, and the fish would get the big amount of capelin, and they come back and in the kelp. It was all kelpy bottom, and that's where they stow away down with the tails sticking up, and they'd be there, and they get as fat as fools. The liver gets big, you know, and they get as fat. And when they start to move down, the trawlers will get it again. Instead of taking the trawlers and going right
onto the kelp,
right on.
Would they have caught the fish on the kelp, or would the fish have been so low?
No, you could catch it there, but they didn't know they didn't know the difference.
They didn't.
No, they didn't.
They just waited.
They didn't. Tell you the truth, my father didn't have a clue. He wouldn't move a trap if he put his trap. He put his trap where his father had, and he put him there. And if the fish was right there, he wouldn't move that trap. He had every morning to cut off the right length for that water. I would say to them, let's move the trap. There'd be fish down in Lead Cobalt. Let's move the trap. No. Wouldn't I tell them? But sure, I never stopped them. Went out around Salvage Point, went up there, the tidy water.
So you were always experimenting in a sense?
Yes, we got all kinds of fish.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, we went out one evening. Now this is Burl or any of the boys can tell you the same. The fish was we had a trap set out, and the fish, the capon was just on the hand coming in. And we were out, we had a trap set out just looking around to see. And we went up to a trap up around the point, and I had the boys sent in the cove to get some ballast to put on a leader, get some rocks to put on a leader. And one of the boys, either Burl or Ford, I was 60 fathoms away from him, out in the skiff, and I was there on the trap sitting down, and they went in the cove. And one of the boys sang out to me, he said, Dad, my oh my, said, the fish is in here, going up alongshore, the codfish. I said, what? He said, the fish is going up in beds inside the end of the leader. And I was close to the shore as I would get. They were really in the beach getting rocks. Well, I said, boy, we got to get some of it. And how are we going to get it? I says, throw the rocks overboard, get the grapnel and shake and on the rock, get the grapnel in the small boat, I says, make some noise and turn the fish. And I was out, it wasn't a ripple, I was out looking, the trap was only in 8 fathoms of water, that's where we had the trap set. And I was looking overboard, and after a little while, as they began to come out, I saw 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 coming in and out of the trap. And boy, push them in it. And the closer they came, helter to skelter, until they pulled that sucker up. I says, okay, boys, come aboard, we got enough fish. Now then, we pulled up the trap, not the 8 fathoms of water, not much water, it's a very small trap. We pulled it up, and you talk about a bag of fish we had, and not another boat on the water. And I looked, and I said, we can't take this. We had that boat, just had it, and we had the other one down there. I said, we're not going to take that much fish in these boats. And we looked down towards Salvage Rock, and we saw a cunt out there. Someone was out for kayaking, and it happened to be the fellow from Melbourne. He wasn't a fisherman then, he was just out skylarking. And I says, and he came in. I put up the flag, and he came in. I says, you want a load of fish? I says, yeah. He says, yeah. And I says, you load up now first, and go in and land it on the wharf. And I says, you do that, and you can have half of the fish. And we loaded up these 2 boats, our 2, and we landed 15,000 pounds on the wharf that night. And there was another creature, they come and look at us and they walk away. That we drove in the trap. 15,000 pounds of fish we landed on the wharf that night.
Wow. Using basically...
And the biggest kind of fish.
Right.
And you know what? The next morning we went out, everybody went out, expecting all the fish. Never had a fish.
Wow.
That was hell-bent chasing the capelin along shore.
Right along the rocks.
Right along the rocks. And the boys turned it towards the leader, and they came up and filled up the trap.
Now it's basically...
Anyone in this place, anyone can tell you that story, and then say that's common knowledge.
Yeah. And that's basically the transfer effect, really, wasn't it? I mean, using the grape.
I used the grapnel, and the boys did.
Yeah.
The boys did, and the rocks. Anything, the ore, anything at all.
To create.
Because there was no water. There was only, I think the end of the leader was in 3 or 4 pounds of water.
So they could just panic the fish and go.
That's right.
The fish will follow along.
And there was nobody else on the water. And we had a little Dutchman here from Amsterdam, a friend of ours. And he came over, and he never witnessed anything like it in his life. How many times I had a letter from him the other day. He's 88 years old now.
Wow.
And he always reminds about the evening we had all the fish. 88, he's 88. Yes, there it is, I think. Yeah, the envelope anyway. No, puts from F and then Lightheart, puts stress.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And
Rotterdam.
he never saw anything like it.
Right.
Yeah.
The amount of fish, eh?
And big fish.
Yeah.
And I think it was about 2 o'clock. It was late when we got in because it was dark when we were hauling the trap, just about dark. It was late when we got in. I think 2 o'clock we were in here with everything
loaded down.
And there wasn't another fish in the place because there was nobody else out.
Right.
We were just out looking at the trap to see if it was in good shape and, just out for steam.
Fooling
we
around.
had the trap fooling around.
On a look,
And come up on 15,000 pounds of fish.
What you scared into the trap?
Yeah, just be scared in the trap.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's always these little techniques, eh?
Yeah.
What was your method for deciding when and how to haul a trap? Like when to haul a trap? Like how did you try to figure out when to haul it? What did you do?
Well, people went to the traps, and usually they put down a cod jigger to see if they could jig any fish into them. But I wouldn't allow a cod jigger down the trap. We went with the trap to haul the trap. We hauled.
Oh, I see. You always haul.
We always hauled the trap. If we could get fast to something, tide or no tide, up he had to come.
If you could get, what do you mean if you could get fast or something?
Well, I mean, see, if it wasn't gone down with tide too far,
I see.
we could get fast to something. If it wasn't all underneath,
I see.
If we could get something to haul on,
you'd haul it.
We hauled it up. And we ended up with 6 traps out. And the last year we fished, and if you only get enough to roll in, say a cantle of fish at a 6 traps, a couple of cantles, you had a good haul of fish, That's how scarce they got on the last of it.
Wow. So you'd haul every time, every trip?
We haul every single morning. We go out with whatever we had in the water, we'd haul.
Wow. No.
People try to jigger and
fiddle around.
Yeah. No fishing, nothing into it.
Yeah.
But there's always a few there.
Yeah.
There's always a few there.
Right. There's
Yeah.
Yes. And how often would you haul those 6?
In shallow water where we had them, there's no way to go back in the evening. No way to go back in the evening. We usually probably have a trap or two up in the biting deeper water and have 3 or 4 around, But we'd haul the other ones in the evening. You had a better chance. You get no fish out there in the evenings. But wherever
overnight kind of.
Overnight they come right. It was unbelievable what we got fish to. Unbelievable what we got fish to.
Yeah, sometimes.
We had a trap 6 fathoms deep, and that's not very deep. About 40, 42, 43 fathoms on the round. And that's where we got the most of our fish. It's unbelievable.
Right in close.
Right in a cove, right into a cliff. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You couldn't think fish would go there. Now that's the fact.
Right. But there they were.
There they were. And you go up in the morning, and you'd be steaming along over the bottom. God, what are we going up here for? There's nothing here. And go up to the trap and be very black. Here it was in the trap.
Black.
He didn't like for the Cleveland, see?
Yeah.
And on the way out, or
on the way in.
On the way out, that was it.
Jeepers.
It was a great way to catch fish.
When you say when people wanted to warn people that they had fish or give fish away, you say they'd run a flag up. What kind of flag was it that they did?
At the time, this instant out there, I put my rubber jacket or something up on the gaff. That's the flag.
Anything out of the ordinary in the sense going up on it would be an alert. They want attention to come over.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, did your father have a particular flag he put up, or
No.
anything
Just you put something. Usually, you'd have a piece of burlap bag to put on over the edge of the boat, dip me in the fish, so you wouldn't chafe the twine,
Oh, okay.
Dip me a lot of fish you soon on the wood.
Yes, cut the twine.
Yeah. And we usually stick that on the gaff.
I see. Hold it up in the air for a while.
Hold it up 20 minutes and you see him coming down again. No, he wouldn't carry any flag.
Amazing.
He wouldn't carry a flag.
I want to ask you about the old days barking traps and things in gear.
That was a mess. That was a mess, my son. Yeah, that was a mess, tarring the traps in the that coal tar. I used to, I tell you, I used to clean, the best way I found, I clean shave, and I get the powder, and I do my face over, and the cut oil, roll up, we had a special suit, and I have the cut oil can, and for cut oil, you know, and that's what I keep on my, every now and again.
On your arms?
On my arms, yeah.
And powder, what kind of powder?
I put that, well,
like a talcum powder?
Just talcum powder, yeah. Yeah. Burn. Oh. And especially if the sun is shining, you know. Because you're pedaling that, you know, you'd be pedaling that, hauling all that twine by hand through the, you know, you keep the water in the pot, and you throw in so much tar. And after you'd haul through a portion of twine, well, the twine to take the tar out of the water. Now you dump some more into it and stir and keep it warm and stir again. And you'd haul so much more twine through until they take the twine. They take every bit of tar out of the water. The twine would.
Right.
And then you keep, that's the process. You keep putting in tar. We used to have a 40-gallon drum of coal tar, use it. And then you put your rope, your manila rope, in the tar all that, and hang it on the fence. Mm-hmm. And you know the day you would burn the most? The day you'd burn the most is the day you'd be putting the trap out. That's the day you'd be handling it.
Oh.
That's the day you'd burn the most.
You take oil with you, would you, for that?
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You would take nothing. There'd be no tar on to come off. The tar would be dried. Yeah. But you'd burn. You know.
Still.
You'd burn the sun. Yeah. Oh. It was an awful mess.
Yeah. So how much a 40-gallon tub of water?
We used to use a 40-gallon. A cast of tar. 3 traps.
3 traps.
When we used 3 traps in the rope, we used to have we might have a drop left, you know, have a barrel of tar.
Sure. A whole barrel of tar?
A whole barrel of tar, yeah.
Wow, and how many gallons is that?
Well, I don't know what used to be the tares. I did this 40 gallons, I believe. I would say 40 gallons.
Mm-hmm. And that's coal tar?
Coal tar, yeah, coal tar.
Did you ever use like a barking, actual bark?
We used to put a certain amount of bark in with that to you know.
With the tar.
Kutch, we'd melt that first in the you know in the water.
Kutch, did you say?
Pardon?
Kutch, did you say?
Kutch. Yeah, Kutch.
That's same as bark, is it?
Yeah, it is bark.
Okay.
Cutch, Kutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much of that would you put in? Do you remember?
Oh, we'd have a box of that. We box of Kutch and we probably use half it in 1 year, and we some left over for the next year, you know.
So that's like a few pounds of Kutch, or?
Oh, I think it was 100. It was over 100 pounds of Kutch in the.
So you'd use half of that?
We'd probably use half it, you know.
A year, 50 pounds.
More or less, probably. Yeah.
For 3 traps.
Now we put that in our salmonids too. We just use Kutch alone in the salmonids.
Okay.
Cutting in twine, you know.
Yeah. Why is that? Why wouldn't you use? Why would you?
Well, tar would make it too hard.
To catch the fish.
Wouldn't get the devil on the salmon. I mean,
to mesh, sort of thing.
That's right.
I see, the gill to get the...
Yeah, I just put the...
Tar really made it rigid.
Put the bark in there to keep the twine slim, you know.
Right. Keep the slub off it or whatever.
Yeah, keep it slim. But
so the fish would not be afraid of it or something? Or?
No, see, if you put coal tar in a salmon net, they just, well, to keep them on the loft or on the fences putting out.
Yeah, right.
You get nothing into it.
Okay.
Yeah, with the slimmer the twine, you know, the softer, the slimmer the twine, the better you'll fish for salmon, because the salmon only want to touch the gill in a slimmy twine. If he's hard, you know. You know, we used to use the cuts in the salmon nets.
And you'd use a bit in the traps.
We put some in the water.
Yeah.
We usually, when we bark our salmon nets, we do these first because they're good first. We save the bark, what was left, you know, we save it all, and we throw that into the pot and use that up.
Yeah. What kind of pot would you use?
Out there, that big one, the other one, that we use that one out there. The one is out the front door out there.
Oh, I must have looked at it closely.
Never looked at it?
Not closely.
Did you see the big ones up there? Up there?
No.
This was ours out there. I bought that one.
How many gallons is it, this one?
Probably 100 gallons. You know.
100 gallons?
Probably 100 gallons.
Big cauldron-like thing, is it? Or
Yeah.
Is that your dad's or?
That was my grandfather's.
Grandfather's.
Yeah.
Well, where did he get it?
It can't. All I can tell you, it came from England. Now that's all I can tell you. Now how it got, that's all I used to hear my father say.
I'll take a picture.
It came from England.
Okay.
And I think, maybe I would say that it was given to them by somebody, and it had to serve. It served the community of Lead Cove and this community, and whatever traps. There was 4 traps there at that time. Probably there were could been now when they got in that story. Me Uncle Gus said 1, my father had 2, and Uncle Tom had 2. There could be half a dozen, and probably the same in Lead Cove. And they'd do theirs first, and then they'd bring the pot up, and they'd do ours anyway. It's the last pump you use stayed up there, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's when they used it would help the crew up here.
And there was a story about they wanted down there, and Abe Button sent up a bouncer, you know, and he got a bully, you know, to get the pot, and they were using the pot up there, and they kicked the stuff out and send it back. The pot didn't go down after.
Ever.
And that was that story. Everything happened to you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that.
You see my father tell the story.
So that's interesting. So they never sent it down there again.
They never went back there afterwards.
Because they sent the bully up to get it.
A big old fucker off me down.
Did he get it? No.
No, they never went back there after.
Oh,
They never went back there. He said he sent up his bully to get it, and they wanted it, and they were using it up there, see? So he went back to the sail cup.
Oh, I see. Very
Pot still stayed. But the pot, I don't know if they bought it between them or if they give the merchant
sold to them or
what.
Whatever, right?
Between the area.
Yeah.
Between the area.
Yeah. Did and that was a day long process, was it?
Yes. To do your gear, your traps, and then you had to go down the shed. And these big old moorings that we had, 2.5 manila rope and bass rope, 2.5 manila was the biggest that glass. Wow. And you had to haul every bit of that, open every bit of that. You throw it in and get a big old stir and stir it up. And then you would hook out that on a stick and hang it on the fence.
Try not to touch it.
For the joy, because the rope, that old rope, only lasts a few years. If it wasn't tired, you know, that old manila rope. It was made of nothing no good. And you had to keep it tired, or if you want to get any life out of it.
Yeah. Make it last.
And that was the name of the game then.
Yeah.
You had to stretch everything as
far as you could.
Yes, as far as you could, is right. Yeah, that was all tired, boy. And then you had then the kegs had to be tired. So if you want. No, you tired that right out of the top, right out of the. And if you had the boys, you notice the boys like that, where they were strapped, that had to be tired to save the rope.
Okay. So all this gear had to get coated somehow or other.
And then you go to tire the kegs, and after all the winter in the salt, you know, out in the salt, the first thing, bangle, one of the hoops that break. And now then you had to go and get a hoop made and put on, because you couldn't put it down the wire. These kegs, they hold such a strain. You had to have them in good shape. I remember we were tiring them one year and had to put 3 or 4 hoops on. It was murder.
Messy.
It was murder.
Yeah. Because they're already half tired or whatever were there.
It was murder. The crowd today don't know
what they're missing.
Yeah, they know. They know what they're missing already. They know what they're missing.
They don't, unfortunately.
No, we went through it as boys, myself and my brother.
So was that 100-gallon kettle right full of?
Well, it was near as we had no. Near as. But see, you keep using it and keep building up, putting the knot bucket of water into it, a pail of water. We had the water hauled in advance, so many barrels of water, filled up. There's another story. See, you go to tie a trap. Well, it took a lot of water. But when you kept the ditches all full of water, that's when you go dip it up right on the spot.
Nice.
And maybe when you go to tie a trap, there wouldn't be a cupful in the ditches, but we'd always take advantage and have the wire dipped up when there was plenty of it in the ditch.
And then you cover it up until it wouldn't evaporate.
That's right, put it in a few days ahead, put it in the barrels.
And wait for a sunny day.
And wait for a day to... You usually wait for a poor day, a wet, not a sunshiny day to do the traps. A day like today. We usually try to get a good day. But you'd burn up with the tire.
Oh, right. The sun would be hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeepers.
And then you had to straighten them all out on the grass. And in places to be nothing on the tire. Then you go out with a big old rind of... You go out with a big old... Get a piece of pork. And you'd cut the pork off and you take the rind. And you'd put a piece of pork like that. And you'd put a hole through the pork and put a string in and put it on your neck. And every now and again, you take your needle, or else you wouldn't get... So you'd take a needle and you'd...
Wipe it in the pork.
Wipe it in the pork. Yeah, right there. And then you carry on. By and by, when you find it difficult to get up through again, because you had to put them right up through, the bottom and the walls of the trap to sew it in.
Oh, I see, okay.
And you would put the pork on there again. Every man would have a minor pork.
And that was when you're sewing...
That's when we sewing the bottom in.
Right on.
Put it on the needle.
Wow.
And boy, that did the trick.
Worked perfect.
That did the trick.
Lubrication.
Yeah.
So now that was I was going to ask you, how big a piece would you tar the trap? Would you tar each side, each wall? Or?
We usually these years had the trap, the walls in two pieces. The walls was in two pieces. Something that you could handle on a man, two good men on a good hand barrow could bring it along. Half the trap. And the bottom was a separate barrow load, and the leader would be in two pieces. You'd have to put this together before you put it down.
Okay,
so you had
two pieces of leader, one floor, and then two walls.
And two, that's right.
What were the wall pieces? The V and the...
A V and the... Well, you usually have the trap under the middle of the back. Wherever the leaf had come,
Okay.
That's when you sew it together.
Whatever, okay.
Yeah.
So then you lay it out.
It would be off half a little bit, one way or the other,
Right.
Half. Right.
So that would be all dipped in at once. When you
you begin the process. You would have the tan pot, and you'd have one of these half puncheons set up alongside of it to catch the drippings. And one fellow would pass it in, one fellow would put it in the pot. Put it in the pot. And he put it in the pot here. And another fellow hauled out of the pot and into the puncheon tub. And you catch every drop. You catch every drop to put back again. So
Didn't want to waste anything. Yeah.
Didn't want to waste anything. And we go through that process until you get one piece done.
Okay.
Then you hang it on the fence.
Right.
Then you start another piece.
Okay. And would that piece be one of the 5 pieces? Like you said, would you tan one of those 5 pieces?
Yeah, one of these 5. Yeah,
right.
One of these 5 pieces. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. And when you get to the bottom, you slap all the tire you could get into the bottom, because the more tire was in the bottom, and the stiffer the twine was, the less chance it had to hitch up in the muscles and the rocks and tear up. Because it's like water,
Okay, right. You would
But
sit
all
on
the core
and wrap around and draft.
That's right. Oh, the other side got pretty good though.
Sounds like it.
The other side got
Would you do the floor last then, at the end of the day, or would you?
What's that?
Would you do the floor first or last, or?
No, we usually do the bottoms last, and then the rope. The rope would be the last thing. The rope would be the last thing we do.
Would it be heavy tar as well? Heavy? Would you put a lot of tar on the rope?
No. because you usually haul through a certain amount of bark and a certain amount of, not too much, just enough something to go through it to preserve it. And I don't know if it did any good or not. Tell you the truth. Because it only lasts so long, 2 or 3, 4 years.
How long would the mesh last? How long?
Not on the sides of a trap. Every second year you want to put, you'd wear it out.
Wow.
Yeah, but the back and the V's, that would do. But the sides of the sides you dried in. Say if you dried in, the tide was down all the time. You dried in the lower side. Well, boy, you take different fish, horn fish on it, and different fish on the twine, and horned it and bitten it up. Played havoc on it.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Wouldn't last very long. 2 or 3 years before you'd have to replace it.
To replace it all.
But you put that in the bottom then.
Right.
So you put that in the bottom.
Little chunks.
Yeah, you put that in the bottom.
Did you construct traps in leaves, like 100 meshes?
Oh yes, that's what. Yeah.
That was the technique.
Oh yes, that's the way they were made. You knit it up in the winter. You knit 99 meshes. You knitted 99, and the 100 would be the one you join together. That's right. You know as much about it now as I do. Somebody can tell me something.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You went up to see Ben before? You went up to see Ben this time?
I think I will. Yeah, I'm gonna. I called him. I told him I'd be in through. I was gonna actually call him tonight, but I forgot. I remember at one point, but then I forgot again.
Yeah.
I'll call him in the morning now.
You see, is Dawn? Is it Dawn?
Dawn. That's right. Dawn.
Is she still on the? In there?
She's still in...
Did you ever see her?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I see her running into her once in a while.
Yeah.
She's going to try to go to law school next year, I think.
Is that right? Good for her.
She applied last year and got in, but decided not to for whatever reason, and she's going to reapply again this year.
Yeah, what's she doing now?
She's just finishing up, I don't know, I think finishing up her arts degree or doing some extra courses or something, I'm not sure what, but good I think she wants to go now on to law school now.
Good for her to have that ambition. Good for her.
Yeah. Going to New Brunswick, I think, University of New Brunswick.
Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I'll have to go and see them now tomorrow or whenever.
Yeah.
And we'll see how the time goes tomorrow morning. What's happening? Anyway, we'll call it good for tonight. I say. So talking for an evening.
There's not too much more that you.
It's true.
You can find out about a trap.
No, get rid of it.
Yeah. You know the length of your trap. You know the length of your leader and your trap. Right. And you usually what you call your frame. You have that in a box, and you drop your shore fast mooring, and you run out the length of your leader and across the width of your trap, and then you go on with your main mooring, and in that, and then you put on your V. You have the wet ropes. The lead of the V, 2 ropes, lead of the V, and you tie that on the moorings, you tie that around your frame, and you go up there with your V, and you go down. Now you've got your
2 V.
Everything is straight.
Right.
Now when you go up now, you can carry out the trap and put on your trap and put on your 2 corners. So you put your leader on first, whatever you want to do. You've got something to
work with.
To work with.
Now, what would those lines called that go out from they go out from the V line? Would they or the?
Well, that's what they were called. The
V line.
Yes, I had them all marked and numbered and in a box. The short and the leader, the frame or whatever you call it, was just a piece of rope, and the V's we call it. I had it marked on the ticket, V's. And they'd be 12 fathom long.
To go out to the V corner?
Yeah.
And what was the main line called going down from the front, where the door and leader met, where the door was to the back of the trap?
The span rope.
That's the span rope.
Span rope.
And the V rope, so the V lines were the ones to the V corners.
That's right.
Were there ones back for the other?
No. I mean, say you would no.
Put those anywhere, sort of.
Well, when you go out to put on your trap, see, when you take out your trap, the first thing you do, there was two on your trap, on the back of your trap. There was 2 bickets, two bites of rope, and you tie one in your main mooring. You would untie your main mooring out of your span rope, see? And you tie your trap on here. And then you throw out the back of the trap, and you pull out this one. Pull out this corner and tie on that corner. And then you pull out this corner and tie on this corner. And then you'll have the back of your trap out. Now you pull your boat towards the mouth. And as you pull the boat towards the mouth, you'll heave over. And if the tide was going down, you take this corner, this V here, you'd have a rope up in your by your buoy, and you pull your corner up. You're pulling up and tying on that side. And naturally, this one here, you throw it overboard, and the lazy tide you take it down, and you tie on this one here.
Right.
Now that's as simple as can't be no simpler than that.
Right.
And the lead there, you would start in and come out, or start out and go in, whatever.
So you just, in other words, you just go to the main mooring there, and then just take it either direction, sort of straight.
That's right.
So
that's right.
And they would just go to the width of it, and then it would stop. So there'd be no
right.
worry about
that's
that.
Right. And if you didn't have enough, too much rope, you would haul back on your mooring, shorten up your mooring a bit, and because you didn't these back of the trap here, you did not set that out bar tight. You didn't, it wasn't good. It wasn't good for hauling. But these here
had to be tight.
And we always have bumped in the side because the tide,
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it was very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. And it's so dependent on the certain conditions you were in, I suppose, eh? I mean, when I was talking to a guy down in Bay Bulls a few weeks ago about the same thing. I mean, they had a much more. I don't know if it was necessary, but I think it was because they had to have more moorings because there was deeper tide, much stronger tide, and deeper water.
Yeah.
So they had like a mooring here and a mooring here and a mooring here and a mooring here and a mooring here.
Yes.
And so then they'd be sort of a.
That's characteristic of the jack traps.
Oh yeah.
The Japanese traps. They got
And he was very specific about where how he had to measure that distance and make sure that the mooring was right in the right spot.
Are you sure he wasn't talking about Japanese trap?
I don't think it was maybe modified.
Well, if it wasn't a jack trap, it must have been a hell of a tidy spot because I never know anybody here had any moorings on the